Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for August 14, 2022. Of course, we've got Masterpiece Transformers news, we've got Legends, we've got mainline news, a lot of great stuff going on. NECA's making some wearable masks for the Masters Universe. It's what they're doing with the license. It's pretty cool, it's pretty interesting. I've got my thoughts. Nacelle's got updates to their Power Lords project. They're bringing Power Lords back in a bigger scale, and they're going to be up for pre-order pretty soon. Super 7's making a clear Tigra, and I've got some things to say about this, mostly positive. There's some oddball stuff here and there, but of course there's always Star Wars, and most of what Star Wars is what's starting to show up. We'll talk about this and more coming up. So what's new at Show Z? If you have incoming New Age H48 Machinimish RC. Now, I'm going to wait for the EX or the extra painted, shinier version if that comes along. I hope I don't miss out, but I think it does look pretty good. It does look great as a Legends scale figure for $40 incoming. Also coming in stock is the Legends Magic Square, the MSB43, the Shadow Master. Their take on Mirage. So I do have this one pre-ordered. Look forward to getting this one. They also have a sale right now on the CDL O2 Alt. This is the Alita 1 version, and then this is the CDL 03 Cat, and they're both on sale for $80, which is pretty good. I passed on these originally. I might have to pick these up. They do look great, and it is based on the original Firebird Nicey mold. Here's a blast from the past. We're getting a KO coming in stock, or it's just up for pre-order right now, I believe. But nope, it's coming in stock. $40 for this Ratchet, but so it's a KO Ratchet, and it didn't fix the side hips. So I was thinking they at least fix those side hips or put that kit in that was developed many, many years ago, but they did not. So it is a standard one-to-one with Takara did. But I do kind of like that the Ratchet of this mold better than the Ironhide. Okay, so let's get right into the Masterpiece news. Go right to the jugular here, and this is the Magic Square Masterpiece Scale 2.0 version of their Optimus Prime. And that's pretty exciting and not a surprise at all. So looking at it, they really did more or less copy what they did with the Legends version and upscale it to a Masterpiece scale. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a handful of minor changes here and there, but I'm curious about a few things. What is price point? What's paint scheme? I'd like this with a shiny paint job, not a flat matte. So when will we know about all of this kind of stuff? So I'm looking forward to the pricing and all that going forward. The original one was about $100. I'm expecting this one to be about $150. That's my expectation. I could be wrong in that, but it is pretty exciting. It does look pretty good, and it kind of, sort of rivals the MP44 in a way, but it's Magic Square, and Magic Square, hopefully they keep the price down on it, and I don't expect a lot of die-cast in it. Okay, last week we saw some sort of a preview to this, but this is the Masterpiece MPM-10 Revenge of the Fallen Starscream. It's a redeco for a different film. So that is pretty much the same figure, I'm assuming, just with a redecorated paint scheme and all of that. So looks okay. Here's the alt mode. And so for this, I'm really not an expert on what the different paint schemes and how the alterations changed from one movie to the other. And I can barely keep the Prime and the Megatron straight. So Starscream, you know, don't count on that one from me. But I do think it's a pretty good rendition, and it looks pretty much like what I remember from the movie. So, pretty good. Masterpiece scale. We've got a new third-party company called Wonderful Trans, WTO1 Ronin. It's an IDW Drift, and so this is their color prototype of this, and it's going to be painted with a metallic finish and detailed sculpt, standing about 21 centimeters tall, so probably about 8.5 inches tall, something along those lines. If you take the 21 divided by 2.54, you get the inches. So still, it comes with 3 swords, and you can transform into an anime-style futuristic car that looks like this. And there is the car. Pretty cool looking, actually. And I want to say that I'm impressed with the look of this drift car. I don't know how accurate it is to the IDW, but I like the look and aesthetic of this one more than some of the other iterations of drift in the past. So looking at it, pretty cool, pretty awesome. And I root for any new company, but as we all know, there pretty much are no new companies. They're mostly the same people behind other companies or older companies just coming back around. So we've got this Takara Tommy Mall exclusive, and it is the Masterpiece MP 53 Plus B Dia Burnout, which is the Diaclone black Honda City Turbo mold, which later became the G1 Skids, which is also known as Burnout in later renditions. But it comes with the original 4 weapons, but it also comes with some extra stuff, which is kind of cool, which I actually kind of like. If you're going to keep remolding it into more obscure characters, but then toss in some extra stuff, well, I kind of like that, but at the end of the day, you got to buy this to get these parts and stuff. But it comes with the Carly, and this is what she looks like. She actually fits in there, which is pretty cool. That works, and you get this little bike, so all this cool stuff that's going along with that. Now, I believe X-Transbot's already included the bike with theirs originally, so... still, it's pretty cool. And I think the Carly is the same one that came with NP44 from what I'm seeing. Okay, so we've got the Sword Dancer from Dr. Wu. Before we get into Legends, we're looking at this one here. And this is the G1 Slam Dance in super miniature 2.5-inch form or something along those lines. Really small and looks pretty cool. Kind of fun. All those cassettes from back in the day were so much fun. But now to get more articulation at an even smaller scale, here it is in the alt modes. And of course, they also turn it into tapes, cassettes. I mean, we know what a cassette looks like. So looking at the alt mode looks kind of fun. But the cool thing is, and I'm starting to like this when companies do this, and they're showing, hey, we've got other colors and color variations coming with this. So we're going to have this one here, which is going to be the B in a black color scheme, which looks pretty cool and pretty interesting. I don't really know how that fits into the lore, but it's a variation and getting as much bang for the buck out of the mold. Here it is with a green Traveler plane, Patriot tank. So kind of cool, pretty interesting. It's Dr. Wu doing what they do. So I talked about this last week, but I think these are better pictures than we had last week when I talked about this. But here we go with some of the new age versions of their RC. And this one's called, I think, Pocahontas, and then Ninja Dicky is what they're calling them, which is Medic and Nightbird. So this one here is the Medic. She looks pretty cool. And it's a pretty cool looking figure. We usually get this back in the day. We've been getting this since early, like 2014, repaints into Medic and all that kind of stuff. The Nightbird repaint's pretty new. It's kind of a modern take what they've been doing lately, which works very well, and I've been liking that. And so here she is, looks pretty good, and will work very well on your Legends shelf. New Age is going to do a pretty good job with this figure. So far, everything I've seen looks great. I haven't really seen any reviews just yet, but I'm sure there's some out there. One more of these I keep forgetting to talk about is the Solus Prime. And so I don't know much about this, but I think it looks really cool. Purple repaint of the RC and some remolded parts, and so it looks a little bit different, but overall still pretty cool. This is a very interesting version. If I knew more about the character, well, then I would probably be in on it. But just the color scheme alone might make me jump in on it. But these Legend figures are getting a little bit more expensive, and it's not as easy to be like picking up 3 of the same mold as it used to be, but still pretty fun, pretty cool, pretty exciting. Alright, so there is a third-party company that's going to be making an upgrade kit, and I don't even know the name of the company, and there's just this picture, so I'm hoping this comes to fruition. It's not like just a 3D print. I hope it's a full production, but anyhow, there's going to be an upgrade kit for this Minature that's coming out from Hasbro, and it looks pretty cool. It fills a lot of gaps, and it adds his gun and does some stuff to it, so it's pretty good. Then you get with this is everything you get with it. So I'm thinking you get leg extenders. Like, there's literally no information. There's just 2 pictures that are not the greatest pictures, but looks like you get some extenders. You can get them a little bit taller, and I think that's good. The taller the better, in my opinion. And then a couple of gap fillers here and there, some extra guns and swords and weapons and all that kind of stuff. So that works pretty good, looks pretty good, and I like to see more about this kit. But then again, DNA Design is probably going to do theirs. There's probably going to be a whole lot more, maybe even a Dr. Wu or something. So we got more pictures. Here is the legacy version of Point Blank, and it says Blanker. I guess I missed the memo. Why are they calling it Blanker? I guess they lost the Point Blank name. Now they got to call it Blanker. Whatever. We know what it is, and it doesn't look bad. It could be a whole lot better if they put more time, effort, and money into it, but this is trying to hit a price point. So I think that the only thing I really have a problem with, the actual figure itself, is just kind of the way the hips come together. It just looks like it's unfinished in that area. Aside from that, a little bit too narrow in the chest area. But past that, it's a pretty good looking figure. I mean, I'm not going to nitpick this to death. You can always nitpick it to death. It looks good. This is the little target master, and this is what it looks like in a gun. So I don't think it's a big improvement from the vintage. And I really think everything that they put out right now, including accessories, needs to be an improvement from the vintage, and I just don't see it right here. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad that we get it in a way. But They've done a whole series of these Target Masters, tons of them, and those are better than what they're doing here. Anyway, getting into the alt mode, this is what the alt mode looks like, which I do like that transparent windshield. It's more than a windshield, it's a whole top piece. But anyway, I think that looks cool, and I think that is a big part of the character and the figure and all of that, and that works. More pictures of Dead End, really nothing major going on there, but looks like you'd expect. I gotta admit that this picture doesn't make it look so good, actually. This picture literally shows every flaw in the figure. I think there's better ways to take better pictures to make it look better than this. But anyway, an A stance would have made this figure look way better than this. But overall, it's not bad. It's just this is a terrible angle. The car looks really good, and let's just face it, most people are gonna have it in combined mode. The car needs to be fantastic. So I guess that's where they put all of their budget of research and development, right? So there's a leak of Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen, and I've got the Fallen figure in a lot at a garage sale, and I have no idea like where he's at, what form he is, and so I'm hoping this is better. I just think that the vintage one, the original one, it just left a lot to be desired. Like, is it really fully in this mode, or is it really fully in that mode? I just felt like that figure, I never knew like what mode it was in, what mode it should have been in. So I hope that this is a little bit more, it's better and a little more precise from one mode to the other. But this, again, this is not transformed properly. It's mistransformed. It's probably even misassembled. So I don't know what bitic. Well, I don't know what all that is. But anyway, it's a leaked picture. I'm sure we'll get better pictures soon. Okay, so we're getting the reissue of the K9 figure for Beast Wars, and that looks pretty cool, pretty interesting. If you know about the character, I really don't know about the character at all. I think I actually had one of these and I sold it. I had a new one, the package one, and I just got rid of all my Beast Wars at one point in time. So it's kind of fun getting them back, I guess. I'm probably catching on sale, but it is still pretty interesting, pretty cool. For some reason, it feels like a Takara Tommy Mall type of deal that they'd have, but it doesn't say it in the nose. Here's the Iguanas one, and the other thing about it is I do think these are all going to show up at Walmart, so it's kind of cool, it's kind of interesting. I just feel like these are massively overpriced for what they are, though, so like $23, and I really think they should be more like 15, but of course I don't decide the pricing at Walmart, so I guess I'll wait till they go to 15 or 13 to pick them up, because they will probably hit clearance if they even hit the stores, which is kind of crazy, right? So speaking of a Takara Tommy Mall, I keep thinking all these are exclusives there, but this one is exclusive there, going up for pre-order from August 10th to September 13th. And this is the Velocitron Speedia 500 collection. And the thing about this is that I guess the fact that it's a Walmart exclusive here, so it's going to be exclusive to Takara Tomy Mall over there. But usually when Takara Tomy does their stuff in the mall, there's something different about it. But I'm glad they're sort of getting away from that repaint thing. I've said it a lot in the past, so I hope these are like exactly the same, so nobody feels like they have to chase these down if they have the Walmart ones. So we got better pictures this week of, well, what was kind of rumored last week or hinted at last week, but we've got two figures now coming, which makes sense. We've got an Optimus Prime, turns into a Canon camera, and then we also have a reflector. Now, we were all speculating why not reflector, and they're doing both, so that makes sense too, so I can live with that. So looking at this, it comes with a Matrix of Leadership, lens shield, mini Canon EOS R5 camera that can be held by Optimus Prime's hand, all this kind of stuff. So they do come with mini cameras and cool stuff like that. So pretty interesting what's going on there. Let's see a little bit better pictures of this. So here's the Optimus Prime, and this is a much better picture and what he converts into. And you can also look and see that he does have a Matrix in there and all that kind of stuff. So if you're a hardcore Optimus Prime collector, you'll probably want this. If you're not hardcore Optimus Prime collector, it really doesn't make sense for your collection, then you probably want to pass on it. So I mean, it is what it is, right? So that's pretty cool. And then the reflector itself, or refractor, that one makes a lot more sense to me. And with it, it actually looks a lot more like the character, but still that giant lens right there is just too big for the character. But still, it makes more sense. So anyway, if you're in on it, then, what is it, 19,800 yen or something like that? Okay, so stuff's showing up at retail right now. So we have the Studio Series Wheelie and Ratchet, even though I have yet to see the Spike or Daniel, whichever one that thing is. That has not shown up here anywhere. So I will probably have to buy that thing online. Also showing up is this Legacy Wave 2 Voyager scale, and so what we're getting here is the Jaxus and the Soundwave, and that Soundwave is a Siege Soundwave with a better paint job, or lack thereof, I guess you could say, lack of the dirt, the cyber dirt. But anyway, they're starting to show up, so pretty cool. Not to share this picture, and of course I took it, so it's terrible. But this is crazy. I missed this whole point when I talked about Red Cog as a Target exclusive. It literally is $31.49 for a deluxe figure. It's a repaint of an existing figure, and it's $31.49. I don't understand this. I don't get it. I missed this point, and if I maybe just read it and I didn't I don't know. $31 for a deluxe figure that is a repaint. It's not even a new figure. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but you know, that's the way we're going this way. I don't even know what to say. So there is a Hasbro Pulse fan stream coming August 16th, 11 a.m. So here's the thing about this one. This is, I don't think there's anything earth-shattering in this, but there will probably be 1 or 2 new figures announced, a whole bunch of repaints and that kind of stuff that's going on. But I think Transformer repaints work a little bit better than some of the other ones in other toy lines. But for the most part, I don't think there's anything earth-shattering that's going to happen here. But I might be wrong, so I kind of hope I'm wrong. I hope there's something really interesting, clever, and different for the upcoming fan stream. All right, so getting into some different news that's not Transformers, the McFarlane Superpowers line is really exciting. It's really fun, and I was super stoked to see this display and to have everything that's out in one shot, which is amazing. They've even got the first of the Wave 2 with the Green Lantern. I was able to get it all, and a couple of things. The Batwing was ringing up $30, so I had to get that ad matched or price matched to the correct price of $20. So if you have that problem like I did, then just take it to the customer service or cashier, whatever. They can try to get that fixed for you. But for the most part, $10 per figure. Batwing is $20, and then the Supermobile is $30. We got some pictures that are theoretically more of the McFarlane, but I don't know. I don't know if I believe that these are correct. So maybe it's all hoax. But we got a Flash picture, and we've got a Wonder Woman picture, and I just don't. I hope Wonder Woman looks way better than that. I do not like the way that Wonder Woman looks. It just doesn't look right for a Superpowers Wonder Woman, in my opinion. And of course, the Flash. Well, it wouldn't surprise me though with the Flash that Flash is starting out as a different color or something, and works up to the standard Flash that we would all come to know and expect and love. But anyway, I saw these pictures. I'm a little skeptical. So NECA, I guess, got some sort of rights to make some He-Man stuff or Masters of the Universe stuff. They decided to make latex masks that look like the toy. So these are toy face renditions of masks and not the cartoon face renditions of the masks. And so with that, pretty cool, pretty interesting. Maybe not so much for me, but I like the idea that this is going on. I was in a major mask buying segment like 6 years ago or something, but I kind of grew out of that or grew away from it because I just wasn't able to display them properly. But they do look pretty good for what they are. Skeletor is sold out. I keep joking Shadiyology bought them out, right? So the Nacelle company they're making quite a bit. They're making the Power Lords. They're also making Sectars, but this is the Power Lords. They're rebooting this, and it's pretty cool overall that they're making these. They're going to bring these back out, and they're going to be up for pre-order on October 11th. I think that's what it says. And so with this is Arcus, which is an evil dictator villain, and one of the most common vintage figures, but it's going to be reimagined for a larger scale. I believe they're going to be like 6 or 7 inch figures, just kind of like they did with the RoboForce, Max Steel, and like one other RoboForce figure. And those were actually able to pre-order those on BBTS. So I don't know if this is going to be able to pre-order on BBTS. I don't know if Sectars are going to be on BBTS. I would prefer that simply because I don't know about going through another whole site. I don't want pre-orders at 19 different sites. I'd like to kind of consolidate in that one. That's what BBTS is pretty good for overall. So let's look at a couple of other pictures here. So this is what it looked like when it was on display. They had the models on display, the prototypes of both of the figures, looking pretty cool, pretty interesting. Kind of get an idea of scale and perspective here. This is another 3D render of all the different angles, so you can see all the different angles of the figure. That looks pretty good overall. And really, I mean, if you have the vintage figure and you see this kind of feels like the vintage figure, but feels like a definite firm upgrade. Then we have the Shaya, the evil, the good. I think she's a good guy. Yeah, I think she's a good guy. She's with the Atom Power. And they have similar gimmick on the vintage toy line, and they have similar aesthetic, more or less, on the toy line. So with all of that, though, I don't know a whole lot about Power Lords. I just have some of the figures, and it's kind of fun. And I look forward to both of these. I just don't know the price, and I don't know availability if you'd be able to get them outside of Nacelle site. I think that's what the toy book exclusive means. It might only be on Nacelle. Now, getting into Super 7 and their Thundercats, now I gotta say that this clear Tigra makes a whole lot of sense for a whole lot of reasons. The first reason that the Tigra makes a lot of sense clear is because he kind of has that like invisibility thing or whatever, and they made him in 2011. They made him with a play set, the Tower of Omens, as a clear figure, and that figure out of that line, a lot of people really chase that figure down, so that one sells for a little bit more than the average figure from the 2011 line. 2011 line is not really like blowing up or anything. It's not really highly sought after, but that figure is in that line, so it's a good idea that they're making it. But the second thing is that when you look at these, they look clear figures seem to have a cloudiness to them, but the way these digital renders look, it looks like it's going to be crystal clear. Now, I hope it's crystal clear. That would be fantastic. And then you can have a little bit of paint on the forearms and a little bit here and there, but I don't want it to have that kind of hazy look that a lot of clear Transformers have, kind of a hazy look to them, and they're not perfectly transparent, where this has the ability to be perfectly transparent because you have solid pieces. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that too. I have mine pre-ordered, and I look forward to it. But then we get into the last thing is, will we get a clear Jaga? And I'm pretty sure we will. And Jaga, for 99% of the cartoon, was a Ghost Jaga. So why are we not getting Ghost Jaga? Because sell this first, and then the Ghost Jaga will definitely sell later on when the line's probably petering out, right? So in an upcoming Legends wave, Marvel Legends wave, we're getting a Howard the Duck. Now, I'm not super into the Marvel Legends, but I do kind of pick stuff up here and there. I think this is kind of cool. Howard the Duck was in this What If episode, I guess. I didn't even watch it, so I didn't know it was a thing until they made this figure. So I guess that's kind of cool. If you're interested in this stuff, you might want to pick that up. So we're starting to see workarounds to make stuff outside of just the normal world and universe. If they are to somehow make up a way to work a character in, they can make the figure. And so that's kind of what we're starting to see in a lot of different ways. A lot of things like Fortnite characters that show up can get made and that kind of stuff. So it's really interesting how there's workarounds with this. We're seeing workarounds with Playmates and how they're getting the Turtles, and they're also making Cobra Kai figures, the Turtles, and they're making Stranger Things. So a lot of cool stuff going on. Just excuses to make more product. When it comes to the Star Wars world, it seems like it's just product that's starting to show up is really the news. There's a little bit of rumor news too, but there's the Halloween Droid Factory figures hitting in Florida, so that's kind of cool right there if you're into that. I don't know how many variations of the Aspect droid they're going to make, but they're going to keep making them, I guess. We also have this Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. This is sort of the concept series kind of thing going on with the Black Series. It's starting to show up, I guess. So it's pretty cool in theory and in concept, and it's one of those things that's a way one-off. I don't think we'll see this kind of thing again. So it's pretty cool if you're into it. Then you definitely want to pick it up now before they sell out. They're hard to get. So we have new vintage collection figures starting to arrive, and I'll personally say that the retro figures are arriving. I didn't take a picture of them, and I actually passed on them, and then the next day, like, they were all gone. So retro collection sells really well. Vintage collection sells a little bit less well. They're still selling pretty good. And I also am seeing the Shea Vizsla starting to show up at places, and you can still get a hold of it. But man, they're charging a premium on that figure because that figure was, I guess, because it was a high price in the past. Why not charge $17.99? It was almost $20 for Shea Vizsla. So kind of crazy right there, and the prices are getting a little out of control, but still exciting to see product that shows up, and it's not the same old stale stuff that we've been looking at for months and months and months. Reporting from yakface.com, we have Target exclusive Black Series Short Trooper 03 from Andor. So it just seems like there's a whole lot of versions of Short Trooper now, and they just keep showing up as different variations here and there. I think they had to clearance the last batch of them bad boys off to like $6 at Target to get rid of the last batch. I think they have kind of a gold tint to them or something, but maybe I'm even thinking of the wrong character. But it's a troop builder, and you'd think it would sell well, so let's see if it sells well or if it kind of clogs pegs. But I am actually starting to see some of the stuff from the Andor show start to show up too, so I guess that's pretty cool, pretty exciting. I'm not super excited about Short Trooper. I would actually like to see another Stormtrooper, but I know that a lot of people are, and a lot of people are super hyped about Short Trooper, so I think it should sell well. So what I'm hyped for is this 40th anniversary Admiral Akbar. Now, I would complain about repacks and repackaged stuff, but in my opinion, collecting Star Wars Black Series for me, it's most exciting to get it on the 40th anniversary in a vintage style card back and to display it on the shelf like that. You see the entire figure and it looks like it's vintage, and from a distance away it definitely looks vintage. So I think that that's the best way to display Star Wars Black Series. I mean, I'm not really a big opener on my Star Wars Black Series. I only open like 5% of them. So with it, I'm an in-package collector with them, and so the packaging makes a lot of difference to me, especially. And then with the whole fiasco we just got with the G.I. Joe Classified retros and all that kind of stuff, the Star Wars ones are a little bit better. They're not a whole lot better. They're smaller card backs, so there's less opportunity to mangle them all up. But I am excited for this. If we do get it, and we do get a retro card back for Admiral Akbar, I'm all over it. But a convention exclusive, will it be hard to get? Probably not. So anyway, this turns out to be a pretty light week in news, and I'm not really surprised. We're in between sort of convention kind of stuff going on and big reveal kind of stuff going on. And Hasbro, since Hasbro does reveal a whole lot of stuff, I think they're saving a lot of stuff for their PulseCon and that kind of thing. But still pretty exciting stuff that's going on right now. What do you think about this week's weekly news review? What else is going on out there that I missed that is really cool, really awesome? So I want to stay up and I want to stay in the know so I can share with everybody else. Like and subscribe, and Titanium Hanger out.